In the heart of Jerusalem stands one of the holiest places in Christianity, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Here, it is believed that Jesus was buried after his crucifixion. For thousands of years, this has been visited by countless believers. But unknown to many, there are secrets hidden beneath it that have only now been revealed again. Using modern science and excavation, experts have discovered pieces of evidence that connect history and faith. This means that the stories in the Bible, which have long been believed, have physical evidence, such as tombs, ancient gardens, and burial chambers carved in stone. In other words, everything written in the Bible is true. And the big question now is, what else did they find under the tomb of Christ? That's what we are going to find out. But before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. That's a big help for us content creators. Thank you so much. And now, let's begin. Unsealing the sacred inside the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in the Old City of Jerusalem lies one of the holiest places for billions of Christians all over the world. Many have long believed that this is where the body of Jesus was laid after he was crucified. But for many centuries, the actual tomb was covered by thick marble. And for many historians, its secrets seem to have been lost in history forever. But on the night of October 26th, a historic unveiling began. Experts from the National Technical University of Athens led the opening of the site. As they slowly removed the marble that had been placed there since the year 1555, the first thing they saw were ordinary filler materials, as if there was nothing special hidden beneath. But they did not give up. After 60 hours of non-stop work, a strange-looking stone appeared, a slab engraved with a cross. And before they covered the site again, on October 28th, they discovered something that made their knees tremble in shock. They saw the original limestone burial bed, the very place where the body of Jesus was laid after his crucifixion. According to Frederick Hebert, archaeologist in residence of National Geographic, "I'm absolutely amazed. My knees are shaking a little bit because I wasn't expecting this." Many scholars had long questioned whether the tomb had truly remained in its original location after so many wars, renovations, and reconstructions. But now, they were holding concrete evidence, a stone that had remained unmoved for almost 2,000 years. And not only that, inside the edicule, the 19th century shrine that covers the tomb, researchers confirmed that the ancient limestone walls of the cave were still standing. For the first time in countless generations, the world once again saw the actual holy rock that is believed to have supported the body of Christ. According to Professor Antonia Maropoulou, chief scientific supervisor of the restoration project, this is the holy rock that has been revered for centuries, but only now can actually be seen. The simple act of opening the marble became the key to revealing a treasure buried under layers of history. And as the scientists stood in front of that stone, a question began to rise. Is this truly the real tomb of Jesus? What does this mean for our faith and for history? But what if there is another secret buried here, one that could shake the very foundation of what we believe? Stay with us, because an even more astonishing discovery is coming next. A tomb hidden in plain sight. Science still cannot say 100% that this discovery is truly the actual tomb of Jesus of Nazareth. But there are signs, from archaeological evidence to historical records, that show this could be possible. The story begins in the canonical Gospels, the first 4 books of the New Testament. Although these were written decades after the crucifixion, their accounts are almost the same. Jesus was buried in a tomb carved out of rock, owned by a wealthy follower named Joseph of Arimathea. This perfectly matches what archaeologists have discovered around Jerusalem. They have found more than 1,000 rock-cut tombs from that period, each with a long horizontal space carved into the rock where bodies were placed. According to Jody Magnus, an archaeologist and scholar of National Geographic, this is exactly how wealthy Jews buried their dead at that time. Another important detail, during that period, burials inside the city were forbidden under Jewish law. According to the Gospels, the tomb of Jesus was outside Jerusalem, near the place of his crucifixion, called Golgotha. But only a few years later the city expanded, and a new wall included both Golgotha and the tomb inside the city. Fast forward to the year AD 325. Roman Emperor Constantine sent people to find the tomb of Christ. What was shown to them was a Roman temple built by Emperor Hadrian almost 200 years earlier. According to some historical records, Hadrian himself built this temple on top of the Christian holy site to erase it completely. But in an ironic twist, that act may have actually helped preserve the location. According to Eusebius, Bishop of Caesarea and the first church historian, when the Roman temple was destroyed, something strange was found beneath it, a rock-cut tomb. To make it more visible, they cut off the upper part of the cave and built a church around it to honor and protect it as the tomb of Christ. But it did not remain whole forever. In the year AD 1009, it was destroyed by the Fatimid Caliphate, then rebuilt again in the middle of the 11th century, and rebuilt once more centuries later in the 20th century. When a large-scale excavation was conducted again inside the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, they discovered remains of Hadrian's Roman temple and pieces of Constantine's original church. They also found an old limestone quarry and at least 6 more rock-cut tombs around the area, some of which can still be seen today. For the experts, this evidence is very important. According to Jody Magnus, the presence of other tombs from the same period is crucial archaeological evidence. It shows that this area was once a Jewish cemetery outside the walls of Jerusalem during the time of Jesus. That is why this strengthens the gospel account that Jesus was buried outside the city, near the place of his crucifixion, and in accordance with Jewish law at that time. According to Dan Bahat, former city archaeologist of Jerusalem, we may not be 100% sure that the site of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is truly the tomb of Jesus, but no other place can claim to have stronger evidence, and there is also no valid reason to reject its authenticity. Today, the original marble slab covering the burial bed has been restored. It may not be opened again for hundreds of years, or even longer. According to Professor Antonia Maropoulou, the architectural conservation we are doing is intended to last forever. Before it was permanently sealed, experts made sure to carefully document every detail of the stone. For Martin Biddle, a well-known archaeologist who conducted a major study on the tomb in 1999, this is very important. He said every surface of the stone must be examined closely for possible traces of graffiti. Why? Because in nearby tombs, archaeologists have found crosses and inscriptions carved by ancient Christians as marks of their faith. According to Biddle, this could be the key to why Bishop Eusebius chose this particular tomb. "I don't think Eusebius was mistaken," he said. "He was a brilliant scholar, so there must have been evidence even back then. It just needs to be rediscovered." So even though there is still no absolute proof, the traces left on the stone in the structure and in history itself all continue to point in one direction. The question remains, could this really be the true tomb of Christ? The garden hidden beneath the tomb. But the most surprising part is this. The more they studied the foundations of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the more secrets they uncovered beneath it. Archaeologists found that under the floor of the church lies a network of ancient chambers, caves, and tunnels. These were not random holes. They were part of an old quarry and garden that existed even before the time of Jesus. According to some experts, this could be the same garden mentioned in the Gospel of John, the place where Jesus was crucified and where there was a tomb nearby. John 19 verse 41 says, "Now in the place where he was crucified there was a garden, and in the garden a new tomb in which no one had yet been laid." Under the church, archaeologists discovered traces of an ancient garden, layers of soil that had once supported plants and trees. They even found remains of channels that might have been used to bring water into the area. According to archaeologist Dan Bahat, this discovery proves that the area around the church was once open land, not inside the city. It was the perfect place for a garden and for tombs cut out of rock. What's more interesting is that other tombs found nearby are of the same type and period as those used by wealthy Jews in the 1st century. This means the tomb of Jesus, if it truly is there, fits perfectly with the time and style described in the Bible. No one can say with absolute certainty that this is truly the tomb of Jesus Christ. Science may never prove it 100%, but the combination of archaeological evidence, historical accounts, and centuries of faith make this place unlike any other on earth. For the faithful, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is not just a monument or a tourist site. It is a living witness, a reminder that the story of Jesus did not end on the cross, but continues to echo through time. And for those who seek truth, the mysteries beneath this church serve as an invitation to look deeper, to believe, and to realize that faith and history are not always far apart. Because sometimes the greatest proofs are not the ones we see with our eyes, but the ones we feel in our hearts.